Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm a 39-year-old woman from Maryland, and I wanted to share my story on a video blog because back in September I was diagnosed with cancer of the uterus, and I was really in shock because I did not see it coming, and I wanted to kind of get the word out there to other women because it's really hard to kind of even imagine getting a disease like this, and other women who could get it, not even knowing they could get it, because I'll be honest, I didn't know I could get it. I always think it's an old lady disease, and it's not. There's a lot of women out there that are in their 30s that are coming down with cancer. And one of the problems is doctors don't necessarily warn you that you are a good candidate for cancer. So yeah, who would think that with everything else in our lives, now we have to worry about cancer too? With stuff like that, you have no idea what's going on half the time. So doctors just kind of throw stuff out at you and they're like, oh yeah, didn't you know that you were a high candidate? No, actually I didn't. And it might have been nice if somewhere along the line of, oh, I don't know, 39 years, somebody might have warned me, but nobody said a word to me about that. And a lot of women in their 30s are coming down with uterine cancer, especially if you have obesity as an issue in your life. And this is like a story about someone, myself, going through this process. This is now my second round of therapy. I was on progesterone therapy for 3 months previously and went through a D&C, my second D&C, because they did the first one to discover the cancer. So the second one came back almost negative, but still not negative because they still found small traces of cancer cells. So now they've upped my dosage of progesterone, and now I'm going through my second round of therapy for 3 months, and then I'll have my surgery either end of April or early May. And one of the things the doctor suggested was to lose weight. And I have been using Ideal Protein. Last year my husband and I started Ideal Protein, and the two of us lost 65 pounds in 10 weeks. So we know the program works. It's just la-di-da-di-da, let's hand you some drugs that you're on, and they're gonna make you wanna eat all the time. So, hey, why don't you lose weight too while you're at it? So great, now I'm on these medication that absolutely makes me want to eat all the time, but they want me to lose weight. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back on the diet and see what happens. The one negative is the diet does produce estrogen, so I had to have a conversation with my doctor about that to see if that would be an issue, and he was like, no, not really. Go ahead and do it. He said it's more important you get the weight off. And I went to see a second doctor at Johns Hopkins just to kind of say, hey, is this what really is what I should be doing? And she 100% agreed with the other doctor. She said, absolutely. I probably would have started you at a higher dose. She's like, the fact that he started you at a lower dose and you're responding to it, that's actually really good. So I'm doing much better than what could have happened, which is no response to the medication, and I am responding. So my feeling is, hey, you know what? I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm just gonna get out there and do what I gotta do. So my goal is 50 pounds by the surgery. And believe it or not, it's so doable on Ideal Protein. I'll have to share Ideal Protein on my next vlog because it is the most amazing diet there is. And we lose weight. My husband has lost almost 100 pounds on Ideal Protein. He looks freaking amazing. It's like unbelievable how much weight my husband's lost. So my goal is to get 50 pounds off by my surgery date. And I figure if I come on here and vlog once a week, it's gonna keep me responsible and make me do what I've got to do in order to get the weight off. So right now my starting weight is 299.8, which is not great, obviously, but if I can get down to 250, that would be really awesome by the time we have our surgery, because the doctor will probably freaking wig out when he sees how skinny I am at the surgery. It's kind of like one of those surgeries where you're like, yeah, he's got to look at parts of me that nobody else gets to look at. So I really want it to, you know, be an impression. The doctor gets to see that I actually have made some effort at getting the weight off. And I think it would definitely help me in the long run if I get the weight off too, because my husband and I, the whole reason that we were going through all this is because we were trying to get pregnant. We've been trying for 7 years to have a baby, and no one would help me. They looked at my weight and they said, too bad you're fat. We don't work with fat people. You know, I mean, ideally, I understand they want you to be at an ideal weight when you're pregnant, but lots of fat girls have babies. It happens. So why is it not happening for me? I just don't understand. So my whole feeling is I need to get out there and do what I've got to do so that when they do release me to get pregnant, I can get pregnant. And, you know, whether or not I have to get the RE to jump right into IVF or whatever, hey, we'll see. But I don't know, $10,000 is a lot of money to throw out of your pocket right off the bat when you walk out the door. Let's just try it. $10,000. Okay, no big deal. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to keep optimistic. My husband's been really supportive. He's amazing. And thank you, Lord, for giving me a man who stands by me and does everything he can possibly do to make my life better. So this is my story. And next week, I will fill you in on Ideal Protein, which I think is an amazing program. And I'll tell you what my weight loss is for the week. And I'll kind of share that each week. I think that's going to be the end of my little blog, is my weight loss, because I think it's important people know how much weight I lose as I go along this process. Because if I lose weight and it inspires one person, just one person, to go out and do it themselves, so that somebody out there doesn't get cancer the way I did, then I've done my job. Because it's not fair. And you know what? Women need to bond together. We as a society of ladies need to get together and support each other. And I'll tell you, once you start doing that for each other, you really do see significant change. And women are one of those groups of people who, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of say in this world. I mean, you would think we do, but I'm looking at doctors who are telling men with cancer in their man parts that, you know, oh, hey, you could just let that ride. It's okay, you know. I'm like, the doctor basically told me, oh yeah, your option is a hysterectomy. And if you don't want a hysterectomy, then, oh, you know, we can give you these drugs and that'll kind of band-aid it for a while until you have a baby. But then as soon as you have the baby, you have to have a hysterectomy. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm so frustrated with doctors and medical people. No one's done any research to find out how to see how women can keep their uterus after, you know, and everything, and whether or not losing weight will actually counter the effects and things like that. They can't tell me specifically that it does that because no one's done a research study to say whether or not it works. Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious that if you get rid of the process of estrogen coming into your system, then more than likely you're going to be able to reverse the cancer. But they don't have any research on that, so they can't say for definitive that it's something that they can do. But I will keep you updated for sure onto that too. And this is like something that if you have friends who have uterine cancer or any kind of cancer, or friends who are infertile, who are going through fertility issues, you know, spread the word, because I'm telling you, I'm going through so many things with both topics, and I will touch on all of them as I go through this process. And I just want to get the word out there to other women. So if you have friends who are going through these things, send them my way, you know, like I can. And if I hear from other people who say, hey, you know, I've got questions on this, I'll research it and I'll find out for you. Because I'll tell you honestly, we need to help each other, because if we don't help each other, doctors aren't going to help us. I hate to say it, but we need to be the ones to go in informed and know what we want and know how we want to do it, because they answer to us. It's our bodies. And if they can't do what we want them to do, then they need to get out there and find out how to do it. Because women don't necessarily want to have their uteruses taken out in their 30s. And, you know, some women don't care. Like my sister was old enough. She had 3 kids. She could care less if she had, you know, had her uterus taken out. She didn't care because she was old enough not to worry about it anymore. But I, on the other hand, have never had children, and it's the one thing that I've wanted my whole life. So I'm not ready for that. And I think there's a lot of women out there who are like me, who've gone through this. And, you know, we are sisters in this, and we have to help each other. So if my story comes out to be a positive one, then hopefully I help somebody else in this process. So that's my vlog for this week. And next week, like I said, I'll fill you in on Ideal Protein, tell you all the good deals about that. And each week, maybe I'll try and give you like a good recipe for it, you know, things like that. Because it's not an easy diet. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. But if you've been considering like gastric bypass surgery or something like that, this is definitely something you need to look at. Because I have a feeling if you're desperate enough to do gastric bypass, then this might be a step to try before you go to gastric bypass, because it is a doable diet. You can do it. It won't be easy. You'll have to really kill yourself. But if you want to lose weight, you will lose weight. And it takes out fat, not muscle. So you actually lose fat. Like this was the first diet where I actually lost fat from my stomach. So that's pretty amazing, because I never lose weight in my stomach. I'm out right now, I'm down 9.5 inches off my stomach. That's insane. So just think about that. If you're really seriously considering gastric bypass surgery, this is something to look at and maybe possibly look into before you go that route. But yeah, so that's the end of my blog for this week, and I will fill you all in. And hopefully, as we go along, I will find some fun topics too to kind of throw in there with because this stuff can be kind of depressing. So I don't want it to always be a depressing. I'm not a depressing person. I'm actually kind of a fun, crazy person. So I want people to kind of see that fun side too, and I hopefully will, you know, reach some people. Thanks, and have a great day.